I'm Ada from Poison Rock, and today we are going to do the second episode of Storytelling. This time I wanted to have as a guest Eleni Nota. We already interviewed Eleni Nota, but speaking about Nervosa, and I want to speak about Eleni Nota. So, first of all, Eleni, how are you going this last year, we can say?
First of all, hi everyone, and thank you so much for having me again. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. Yeah. And so last year has been insane, especially spring and summer of 2021 because the lockdown finally ended. So we did our first rehearsals with Nervosa, and then we played our first festivals ever. We have played 6 festivals so far. Around. Yeah, all European ones. And next week we're going to play in Tijuana, Mexico for the first time. And after that, we have some tours waiting for us next year. So it's been busy.
How do you feel? Because last time we spoke, there was like a stuck situation. So how do you feel going all around the world with Nervosa's first time? How is it?
It's insane. Now I have actually gotten used to it a bit, but in the beginning it was insane because we've been in lockdown for so long, and it started feeling like this is the new normal. And then the lockdown ended, and we had shows. And when actually, Prika sent me my flight tickets, I was seeing the tickets. Yeah, I couldn't believe that I was holding flight tickets in my hand. Like, okay, I'm gonna travel actually. And the first show. Great. Yeah, it was amazing. The first show, it was in Poland, in Wrocław. It's called Lauderfest, an amazing festival. And I remember that I hadn't played in front of people like for almost 2 years.
Oh my God.
And I saw, before I got up on the stage, I saw the crowd. I started actually shaking. I couldn't remember how it is to play in front of people. I had to teach myself again how to perform live because I forgot it. So the first show was really stressful but beautiful.
Yeah, but this is amazing because even if, like we were saying before, Nervosa, like they are now the first female band in the world, each one of you will remain humble as possible. Like you were like at the beginning, but right now you're like at the crowd of at the top of your career right now. So it's in my opinion, you were living like a prince in the history of music because we didn't have so many female bands going so tough, being so tough and going for so long good. But I want to speak more about you now. So sure. It's a common question, but of course I want to ask you, who is Eleni Nota? So if you want to describe yourself, yeah.
Okay. Oh wow! Actually, it's the first time that someone asks me this question. So. Who am I? I love drums. I love music. Yeah. I love discovering new things, especially new music, new books, new movies, going to new places. And I'm a home person. I don't like going out so much. I don't like alcohol.
Welcome to the club. Me too, yeah. Welcome to the club.
I love coffee, I love sugar, and I hate healthy food. So this is me probably, to sum it up.
I agree completely I love this version of you, it's amazing. And of course, it's as well common, but I have to ask before digging, how you get so close with the music? So how was your first approach with music and drums as well?
So it's kind of it's not like the common story where my family introduced me to music, because my family doesn't have a musical background. Mm-hmm. So I didn't grow up listening to music that much. And when I was 7, my mom just asked me, because most kids my age started playing some instrument. Yeah. And my mom asked me if I wanted to learn an instrument, and I didn't care that much about it, to be honest. I didn't know that drums existed. Like, I never seen a drum set in my life back then. So I think I just said piano because I knew that piano is an instrument. Like, I think a classmate of mine played piano. Like, okay, she plays piano, I want to play piano, like that. And I started learning piano, but I was really, really lazy about it and really bored.
Yeah.
And some years later, around 10, 11, I had this best friend at school that his older brother was this big metalhead and he was a guitar player. He was already playing in a band. And he introduced us so slowly to metal and rock, Scorpions, Iron Maiden, and stuff like that. And
Classics.
one day, one day he introduced us to Slipknot, and
Slipknot.
yeah, he was listening to the song "Surfacing." I still remember it, and I was so intrigued by it that I asked him what is that, and he told me this is a band called Slipknot and everything, and he showed me a video of them playing live, and I saw Joy playing
Joy.
and Joy Jordison, yeah, and at that moment I was like, what is he doing? This is so cool. Like he's hitting things and they make sound. This is super cool. And after that, I went home to my mom and I told her, I want to learn the drums. My mom freaked out because she hates the drums. They, they're big, they're loud.
Of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So she freaked
yeah.
out.
So,
Yeah, it was bad.
so basically, your first influence as drummer was Joy
Joy
Jordison.
Jordison. Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's still my favorite drummer of all time. And
and
also, rest in peace, Joy.
yeah,
And everything. It was
of
super
course,
sad
of
what
course,
happened.
of course. Our photographer here, she's all full of tattoo of Slipknot. She's the one of
Wow.
the first, our first band. Yeah, of course. And but did you ever think about playing other instrument apart drums?
I tried after I started playing drums. I tried a bit to play bass because a friend of mine had a bass. After I joined my first band, high school band, I tried to play with the bass of our bassist, and I started playing a bit, but not practicing, like fooling around with
Yeah,
a really cheap bass that my mom got me. But I quickly got bored with it. I don't know. Drums always fitted me the best. I enjoy listening to piano, I enjoy listening to bass and guitar, but I was never really interested into playing them. But drums, yeah, it's been my thing forever.
it give you like the stress, like a good way to put out the stress of the band.
Yeah, I think it's a adrenaline. I
Yeah.
like moving around all the time, and drums
And
gives me that.
this is most for drummer girl. There is some is it also more technical. Some I don't know, some brands, some your could say your attraction, your drums basically. There is a part that you prefer. Or, I don't know which type of um, the drums that for you is indispensable to have it. Like I have to have it, or otherwise I don't play it.
Um, probably it will be my pedals
Okay.
because I can play with other cymbals, with other drums.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like so. I love my cymbals. I prefer to have mine always, but I could play with other cymbals. But the pedals are very personal to a drummer because you set them up according to what fits your feet. So
Yeah.
probably I couldn't play the speeds, especially with Nervosa that we have some super fast double bass
Yeah.
parts. I don't think
Yes.
I could play them with other pedals.
Yeah, I saw your last playthrough video. They are amazing. I mean that, and that this is the amazing things about you and Nervosa's band because you post things about each one of you, people to know you better. How this choice to put this, how can I say, this video about you playing drums and your playthrough. I saw Diva Satanica playing Contest Battery. That's amazing.
Yeah.
How it's a good it's a things that you choose or that just say let's do it.
Um, I think this was Prika's idea to start releasing some more, musical personal stuff
Yeah,
because we were the three of us were new. Nobody knew us. I mean, okay, people knew Mia especially and Diva, but they didn't know us as a part of Nervosa. So
yeah,
Prika wanted, that the fans could feel a bit closer to the kind of music that we like and our
yeah,
tastes and everything. So it was Prika's idea, but we all agreed, of course, because it was a really great idea to do something more personal for the fans to feel more warm towards us.
Yes, and of course, speaking about taste. So, as apart George Jorgensen, which other drummers influenced you as drummer?
After Joy, it's Daniel Erlandsson from Arch Enemy,
Merchant, yeah.
Luke Holland, Eloy Casagrande, of course, from Sepultura,
Sepultura, yeah.
Cream, Cream, who's been currently the drummer of Septic Flesh, but he's also played
Septic
with,
Flesh.
with Behemoth and Decapitated and other bands. Chris Turner from Ocean State, Alaska, one of the best double bass techniques I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, actually, if I start speaking about drummers, I will finish tomorrow. So I think I will stay with this that I said right now.
And of course, apart drummer, if this before going your other taste, since you were speaking about drums, if there is if you want to give an advice for a young teenager, because when I was, for example, 14, I wanted to play drums, but and then to play bass. This is there, but you can see it. It's hidden, my bass. I wanted to start to play bass. So I want to play drums, and my mom, of course, said, no, it's too loud, and okay, they find a compromise, and I had the bass. So if you want to give an advice to the young teenager that want to say, I want to play drums, because this is fucking an amazing instrument, what would you say to this young teenager? Because now you are completely an example and inspiration to the new girl out there.
First of all, you can play drums even if all the odds are against you. You can, for example, I remember that I bought a pair of sticks with my pocket money, and I was playing on my bicycle seat. You know, the place that you sit on a bicycle. I was using it as a practice pad before I got a practice pad. So, for example, if your parents don't like the idea of you playing drums and seem negative, you have to prove to them that you really want it, and it's not just an impulse, because if you prove it, they will come around eventually. So if you start playing with a pair of sticks on your bicycle or on your desk, and you actually insist on doing this for a long time, they will eventually buy a practice pad for you. And when you prove to them that you're still committed, they will eventually, take you to lessons and stuff. And I know that drums are loud, but nowadays there are perfect electronic drum sets that are really affordable. Yeah. So even if you live in an apartment, I lived in an apartment for most of my life. So I was playing for 10 years on an electronic drum set. So, you can do it, and your neighbors will be okay with it. So
yeah, of course,
because it's not loud. So there's always a way. Even the most stubborn parents come around at the end.
Yeah, and in Eleni's, you can say all life, which were the most artists, musician, bands, whatever that influenced you? Could be as well musician, but you can say as well, for example, books or movies, because we're digging about it, so it's your taste. You can say first musical taste, and then just whatever you want as taste.
Okay, so I will say, first of all, Slipknot.
Okay.
Because they gave me drums.
Yeah.
Through Joy, Slipknot gave me drums, and drums changed my life. So I will say them for this reason. And also, I will say Nightwish.
Okay.
And along with J.K. Rowling, that wrote the Harry Potter books, and eventually they became movies. Because when I was a kid, a teenager actually, and all teenagers go through some hard stuff at the point. These two artists, actually Nightwish, a lot of artists, a band, but this band, Nightwish, and this author helped me go through my state. My dark times, let's say, and they kind of saved me in a way, and they kept my mental health intact. So I owe my childhood to them in a way. So I would say these people.
That's nice. So these people made you who you are today, of course.
Yeah.
And now, of course, the old question that I did you once, maybe this time it's changed. If you have to pick 5 albums, if you remember these questions that you
Oh, yeah.
that made you Eleni, which will it be?
Okay. So this probably, if I had to say my 5 currently favorite albums, the
Okay.
list would be different because some albums that changed me, I don't listen to them that much now. So I will say the 5 albums that changed me. So Once by Nightwish.
Okay.
And it could be also Century Child, but I will say Once. Godspeed on the Devil's Thunder by Cradle of Filth.
Okay.
Divine Conspiracy by Epica. The Silent Force by Within Temptation, and Communion by Septic Place. I think I said 5. Yeah, it was 5.
Yeah, there were 5. Yes, of course. Apart and in your life, apart Nervosa, your other project, because I remember you are at the other musical project. So what about that musical project you had in your past?
Before Nervosa, I was a member of quite a few, Greek local bands. I was playing for 4 years with Mask of Prospero. We played gent, metalcore, progressive, a mix of things. Lightfold, another progressive metal band. Ghost Season, it was alternative metal. And actually, yeah, with all these bands, we released 1 or 2 albums, so it has been great. And also, before Nervosa and now during Nervosa, I do a lot of studio work as a session musician. So actually, especially 2021 has been a lot of work in the studio. So actually, I realized quite recently that this year I've recorded the most music in my life ever. Like, I've recorded tons of drums for new music. So, but yeah, to clarify, right now I'm only a member of Nervosa, like a permanent member. Anything else you see is session work.
Yeah. Last time I asked you if you remember memory of some gigs live in general, but now, of course, since you've been playing a little while outside with Nervosa, I want to ask you a good memory who you had with Nervosa, because it's the present. So we speak about the present now. Good memories with these amazing girls, women.
Yeah. So okay. Probably it will be about our first show that I talked before in Poland, the Louder Fest. So I was freaked out about this festival, like I told you, because it has been a while. And also, Rika, can be really savage. So she asked me 1 month before the festival, Eleni, I want you to play a drum solo during the set. And I freaked out because I told her, first of all, I've never played a drum solo live in my life. And also I haven't played in front of people for almost 2 years. So it's, it's quite, So I freaked out big time. And I remember when we started playing the show, the drum solo was kind of at the end of the set list. Like it was a drum solo and then 3 more songs and then we finished the show.
Yeah.
So during the whole show, I was thinking, the drum solo is coming. The drum solo is coming. So then I remember, I was thinking about it during the whole show, like from the first song. And then I remember, because in the set list, it was Guided by Evil. And right after, I had to start doing the drum solo. So the time came that we started playing Guided by Evil, and I was thinking, it's coming, and we finished Guided by Evil, and there were like 5 to 10 seconds before I started that I was thinking, I can't do it. I will screw it up. It will be horrible. It will be a huge fail. Someone will film it with their phone and upload it on YouTube, and it will be disgraced forever. I think I was about to cry for some seconds. And then I just said, go on, gather your shit together and start doing this already. And I started playing the solo, and I think I didn't look at the crowd not even for a second. I was looking at my snare drum and I was playing the solo.
That's amazing.
And then I remember that the solo finishes and it was, it was a success. I didn't fuck it up. And I remember the crowd screaming like woo!
Yeah, yeah, because they are completely, like can I say, they are. I mean, like I told you, where we were having our first interview, you were. I mean, a lot of people. It's insane. I never saw these people because we had a lot of interview, but basically you and Tom Warrior for Celtic Frost are the first two interview going crazy. So that's amazing. So it shows how you really Nervosa are going good, and a lot of people are following you. So now you can consider yourself like an inspiration for a lot of girls. That's great. And like we were saying last time, at least we don't have the past, we can say inspiration or the real inspiration. That's why we want to show to the people who are the musicians. So before ending the interview, there is something that you want to say in general about Nervosa project, future project, or what's going next in general?
Um, about the future, actually, we have a huge European tour coming
Yeah.
in February with Nervosa. We'll play in most European countries, like the vast majority. So if you're in Europe and you want to see Nervosa live, go to either our Instagram page or our Facebook page and check out
Yeah.
the dates. Everything is there, so you can book your tickets. And if you live out of Europe, US, Latin America, we have announcements coming, so you won't be disappointed. We'll come visit you as well.
It will be
And
all around the world.
so yeah, no one will be disappointed. We'll go everywhere, so don't worry about it. And yeah, so Nervosa will be busy. You'll see everything, I suppose, if you follow the band on social media. And yeah, and about personal projects, I'm trying to post, on my YouTube channel drum covers, at least when I have the time to do it. But so you can expect some stuff coming, and yeah,
That's
it will be a busy
great.
year this year.
That's great.
So thank you for having me, and thank you for your support.
It's always a pleasure. And of course, next time we did it first, the second, but next time has to be face to face, sitting and drinking coffee, of course.
Yes, coffee and probably some, muffins or cookies.
Yes, of course.
It will
Sugar
be nice.
as well, amazing. It will be like a coffee
Perfect.
interview. Thank you so much, Eleni. And
Thank you for having me.
cheers to all the other girls from Nervosa. It was really a pleasure. Bye, Eleni.
It was a pleasure too. Bye.
Bye.